Hello, everyone. Hello, family, carers, seniors, family. This is Dr. Lana, and I am so happy to be talking live to you again about a topic that is absolutely passionate for me. And really, it carries a serious, is a very serious topic, but let's just dive right in. You may or may not have seen the thumbnail. We're talking about fire safety in the home. So, again, if you haven't met before, I'm Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, passionate about caregivers and also about us getting together as a generation, intergenerational, as a community. Feel free to share your thoughts. Feel free to bring a friend, grab a cuppa, as I said, and let's join in the discussion. I'm so excited to bring this to you. And maybe excited isn't the word for sure, but let's look at the list and let's take some information that we have because there are three reasons, and I noted, and it really struck me, and I said, you know what, I must come in. I must. I felt compelled to share this topic. One is it's the dry season here in the Caribbean where I am. Secondly, so that's going to bring more brush fires, as we call it. Secondly, it is spring for those of you who are there, and that brings the wind. It may not bring as much rain, it may or may not, but it's bringing wind. And when fires start, they can actually just come from miles and miles and create devastation. And if it's the one most heartbreaking and preventable, uh, experience that a family can does not have to go through, it is a fire. It destroys everything, your memories, your hopes, your all the things that made, maybe it was the old family home, it was a family home, and everyone has their memories of it. That's not even close to the damage to life, injury, well, damage and loss of life, injury, to yourself, to your children, and especially remember this is a challenge with where we got caregivers. However, because we're talking about family, we want to involve everyone. And when I say we want to involve everyone, I mean children, come on board. Friends, call a friend, call a family member you know is going through a tough time. Have you prepared your family? Have we all prepared our family uh, plans as yet, our family safety rules. You know what? Just a few days ago, and we should know better, but we often don't. And I got distracted. Now, how many times has this happened to you? Got distracted. I hadn't gotten yet they're in the drawer. They're all neatly there, but they're to be put up smoke detectors. And I admit I'm at fault. I will take action. But I was distracted with work and otherwise. And then I started to smell something. What's that? And it was something on the stove. Had I had the smoke alarm, it would have been able to alert me. But I was able to smell the smoke, even though I was in another room. I was able to take action. Need be, may have been able to get outside safely. Consider all those factors, and I thought, whoa, okay. Word to wise, note to self, get your smoke detectors. We're going to talk more about that in between. But there's such a great amount of information. I want everyone safe. So we all need to put our oxygen mask on first. That's how we deal with and safeguard our lives and those around us. So let's just dive right in. We'll talk about those who are especially at risk, where you can find resources, how you can assess each person at home, and how the entire family can get involved. So we want to be, as I heard this morning on the radio station, we want to be pro and not reactive, because who knows? Who's to say that a house fire can't happen to you, can't happen to me. Everyone who that has for whom that has happened, small in a small way or in a large way, they can you can always pinpoint, unless maybe it's a disaster from a brush fire, and even then you can get away, follow instructions. How many of us can say, I really wish I had followed those little bits of advice to get what I had to get done. And especially though, let me tell you, with older persons in a house, in a household, you might be sometimes they might get up before you because they might be strong and just adrenaline just keeps going and the need to leave is there. But what if they're in a walker? What if they're bedridden? What if they are um not hearing you well? There's hearing impairment. The statistics I've gotten, and they're really, really sad, it's almost 12,000. These are just US statistics. 12 from the American Association of Retired Persons. 12,000, 1,200, sorry, persons die in preventable house fires every year. Hmm. So we don't want that. That's not a number. That's your mom. That's a friend. That's a family friend. We don't want that for us, do we? No. And then I shudder to think. You remember the older persons, they love, especially in the Caribbean, they love some kerosene lamps. They love candles. They love all are hazards. You can trip, you can fall. Think about that one. And let's consider. So let's dive right into just a few. I've labeled five. Let's see if we can get through those five, shall we? Or actually, there are eight. Let's see if we can do five, but I'd love you to listen to all eight. And in the meantime, it is a live stream, so feel free to say something to let us know your journey. What is your journey? What is your number one safety tip? What is your plan in your family, for yourself, for your loved one, for your older one? Older persons, if you can manage on your own, you have your own vehicle, and you're watching this now, or you know of a friend who can manage, what can you tell them? So here we go. And I really appreciate you coming, and I really and joining in this discussion because, as I said, there is nothing that can swallow hopes and dreams like a house fire can. And if it can be prevented, it most certainly can be prevented. So here we go. And I'm so grateful for the information that we have. And even if you can't take notes, just you can replay this over and over. So remember, call a friend, grab your cuppa. I've got mine. It's tea. Trust me, it's tea. Call a friend, get your family together. Tell the kids, you know what? Let's pause. Let's look at this. So according to this is the most common. So we talked about an average of 1,200 and 500 fire deaths a year. If I said a month, I'm sorry, it's a year. And these are of the statistics from just a few years ago. And of those persons, most of that of the older persons age group, the older persons, they were the ones who perished. Why? Why? So let's look at the reasons why. Let's look at, I broke it down. Let's look at the risks, how we can assess each family member, the cautions we need to take, and the number one tip for families. So you're gonna be all right. Stick around. Let's just talk about it. So again, we spoke about the smoke alarm. Let's assess the risk. Older persons are not may not be, especially those who are slower with a walker, with a cane, or in a wheelchair, or bedridden. How are you going to get them out? They're a risk. We're not talking about how to get them out first, but consider each family member. Children get confused easily when there's smoke. There is the most danger, not comes from the flames, it comes from the smoke. Do you know where your exes are? Do we know where our exes are in our home? Those with children, do you know where each person is going to be? Do you know each child's unique thing. Suppose that one of the children has asthma. Suppose one of the adults has heart medication and they have asthma. Do you have the medications on board? So we see how we started in preparation from before. No one prepared. Well, it's not preparation if it's already happened, is it? So here's what: assess the risk to your particular home. Is it part wood? Is it part wall? Does it have drywall? Is it insulated? Do you know that? Do you know your insurance coverage up to date? All those place you at risk in the eventuality. So let's assess each family member. We did that. The children, the adults. So that's number two. Those who are at home, those older ones who are at home, even if they may not be fully clear, they can tell when there's smoke. They know when there's fire. Many of them, let's face it, like my grandmother, she can still cook on a wood stove. I learned that I can't, but I don't know if push come to shove, I can cook on an outside fire. However, they know the smell of smoke. I meant to say, but what they may not be fully aware of, or when as aging comes, they may not be able to smell. As I said, I was able to smell the smoke. They might only recognize it when the smoke is actually enveloping and they start to cough. Is there anyone at home? Are there smoke detectors to alarm it? They may not even be able to hear. Do you have a security system? Think of all the risks, all those at risk, and how we can mitigate and change the situation, restore confidence that we can be safe in a house fire, in the event of a house fire. We're not calling it, that's for sure. So maintain your oxygen mask, take care of your loved one, and make plans. So here's what we got. We're going further. So we've assessed everyone. We've assessed the risk of our own home. We've made plans with the insurance company, what's covered, what's not. Please take this moment to reflect on your home insurance policy and see. The persons at home know what who needs to get where. It might sound funny, but you know what? Where are your doors? Where are your windows? Are they barred? Do you know where they are? Can you get to them in the event of a house fire? And are they leading to somewhere safe? So maybe you may need to plan out or review your plan, your house plan, and see, hey, I can't get through this, and my window's 20 feet down. So do I want to do that? No. Can Gran do that? Can Grandpa do that? Can the children do that? Depending on how young they are. Suppose you have a baby in the house. It's challenging, yeah. There's so many things we have to think about. There's so many things to consider. It's not impossible. So what do we do? What do we do? It's not talking about problems only. So assessment, yes, fine. So let's go back into what can we do. First of all, since most, as we posted or as I posted on other media, the most common fires start at home in the kitchen. So does the older person have to go in the kitchen? And if they do, give them the dignity. They may want to use matches. I know older persons somehow seem to have a fascination with matches. I don't know. Maybe it's the flame. Maybe it's what they're used to. So, are the matches safe away? And and you as a caregiver can assist them with that and monitor them with the use of matches. Make sure when you're actually on the stove, the pot handles are turned, away from you so that they're not in your way. When you reach over, you just let you know, stock and everything falls out. Remember to have, even if it's hot, try not to let the older person, even if they're out, even if they say they can manage. The younger person, this is where the family comes in. Let the younger person, let's talk first in the kitchen. Where can we place the safest, the holders? Where can we place the fire extinguisher? Where can we place the smoke alarms? Are usually not advised in the kitchen, but where nearby can we place that so that if there's a danger, we can act on it quickly? So when you are cooking, do not leave the stove. Do you know how many times caregivers have mentioned that they fell asleep and that's it? You know how many times when, especially when you're working and studying and having to look after an old one, You know how many times I fell asleep? And then when I woke up, I'm like, okay, something's burning. And the saucepan, I don't know, it's lasted so long, it's got a hole in it. It doesn't have a hole in it yet, but it almost does. So stay in the kitchen when cooking. My grandmother always used to say, never leave the stove, ever, ever, ever. Same applies with families and older persons. Keep a lid, a pot, maybe with sand, some people do, but a big lid that can cover over a flame in case it flares up. We don't want flambe in the house. Remember where you are and who you're with. And if you're in a country that has to have wood heating or flames, is that maintained? Is it cleaned? Is there too much smoke? You know the signs. Have it regularly maintained. If you have a chimney, make sure that that's cleaned professionally. What about electrical? Electrical fires are, I'm not sure, they're second, but they're definitely here on the list. Make sure that, especially in older houses, they're not usually wired well. And even in newer houses, trust and believe, some shortcuts are taken, not an indictment, but some shortcuts are taken. So make sure that a licensed electrician either sets it up or reviews it, or you know. And please do not overload circuits. A common complaint at holiday times is people overload it. They put the trees, they put the lights, they put this, everything. And that's a disaster waiting to happen. Do you check to see if there are any frayed ends in your wires if they're outdoors? Do you have a surge protector in the home? Remember, simple things like don't put the fan in the bathroom. Use light bulbs with the correct wattage so that they're not only energy saving but they're safe for you. And if anything should happen and they break, don't be they won't be a danger to you. They won't be creating a fire hazard. Do you know your emergency numbers in Barbados? Everything in the world may link to either 000 or 911 everywhere. Even here in Barbados, if I dial a number and I go 911, it will take me to the first responder. Do you know your emergency numbers? What most families have done, what we did was just put them big, bold. So let's work on that together. Let's see in this where we can improve. Well, I got to improve in getting smoke detectors and have the numbers on the fridge. Do you know your numbers? There's other things we can work through. Remember, well, we'll talk about what happens after if a fire does happen, but we're trying to prevent it, yes. And this is where the number one, see, we made it. This is where the number one, my number one tip, the families I find that as my family at school, yes, we did it. Somehow in the house, you figure, well, the house will stand forever. No. Again, do you know where your exit doors are? Remember, smoke, hot air rises. So if there's smoke and if there's a fire, the aim is to get out as quickly as possible. So do you have a family drill to know who's going to do what? Okay, Susie, 10 years old, you can take care of this. Um, John, so you're in charge of helping mom to come out. But even if you just practice the drill, practice still gives everybody an idea what to do. Remember, if there is smoke, where the smoke is fire, yes, but where there is smoke, to get down underneath as much as possible while you know where your exits are. Because when it's smoke, no one can see anything. The heat of the fire is just overwhelming. Remember also to have medications and have a go bag. Have a go bag that has everyone's medications. Always be ready and prepared to leave in a moment's notice. Yes, it is a precious home, but life is much more precious. Agreed? Agreed. So know who your risks are, know who the limitations in your home, get everyone involved, give everyone a role, explain to the older one what we're gonna do, know where your exits are. Maybe you can put a sign up in the house. This is the fire exit. Take the precautions. Check your saucepans and your cutlery for safety. Remember when you're on the stove by the kitchen, sorry, please be mindful, please be careful. We're not stopping you. We just want to be safe. So I hope this was helpful. It was definitely helpful to me as a reminder. Oh, one other thing, in electrical fires, electrical risks, the circuit breaker. If the circuit breaker isn't working because the heat has melted it, then what good is the circuit breaker? But make sure it's up to scratch. If not, and something happens, don't go looking for it. Get out. Life is more important. Life, not the house as much as we want to. Life is more important. So let's maintain that. I'm sure you've gone. The points made, but I want to just leave you with that one point. Have a family drill. However often, how you can Google it and find out how many times a year you need to have a family drill, a fire drill, and do that. Let me know how it went. Um, Let me know. I'd love to hear. I know fire drills at school, and the one we kind of sort of did um in a smaller group. It seemed funny, but it wasn't because you're thinking, you know what? Hmm, I don't know where the other door is. Do you have a window that you can come out of, that you can climb out? Do you know how far up above the ground you are? Can you just jump out the window and end up with a fractured leg, a broken leg? Hmm. Oxygen mask on. This time it's oxygen mask literally for everyone. Do what we can. Do what we can to safeguard our lives, our loved ones, our children. Yes, our home. Have contingency plans. Have a family. Let's all have a family drill session. Let's know what we're doing. Let's have the mitigating, the corrective factors. Let's know who we need to talk to in the event. This is a serious but such an important call and so dear to my heart. Leave your comments. Let me know what you thought. What is your contingency plan? What would you think is a good idea to have as a fire? Did I miss anything out? Share any comments. Is there any other suggestion you have for being fire safety conscious, being fire and what to do in the event of a fire? So everybody safe. Remember the whole family. Cure healthy, cure happy. Let's care among and around our generations. Let's do the caring around the generations. Let's integrate. Let's just bring everybody together. Yeah, bring in families together. Bring in the generations together. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm all about. Let's see what we can do and send me the reminder, and I go write the reminder down, write it down now. Smoke detectors and batteries. No point having a smoke detector all up there and then it's not working. The fire's like, what's start? So the smoke starts, and you're like, When I say put in batteries, boy, fortunately, they most of them make a noise. So take this away. Take this as a given. Take this as a what it is. My heart to your heart. Oxygen mask on first. Take your family, um, integrate the family. Let's bring the generations together. Let's keep each other safe. And let's, well, not only safe, but happy. Yeah. Happy life. We always often hear a different expression, but happy family, happy life. Until we meet again, this is Dr. Lana. And I am so, so honored to have you on. And I'm so intrigued. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your insights. As I said, did I miss anything out? Leave in the comments below. Leave your journey below. Thank you so much. This has been awesome. This has been great. This has been, I hope, worth it. And share with a friend. Like, subscribe, press the notification button for more updates on this. We are going to be expanding. We are going to be seeing how families can integrate. Not you here, this person there, this person there. No, we get them back. We're gonna let's link better together. Have a fantastic night or morning or evening, wherever you are. This has been wonderful. And signing out until we see each other again. From my heart to yours. Mwah. Take good care.